You didn't click on this video by accident. Deep down, you know that English isn't just a language, it's a gateway. A gateway to better opportunities, global connections, and the confidence to express yourself anywhere in the world. But here's the truth. Most people spend years learning English and still can't speak fluently. Not because they aren't smart enough, but because they've been using outdated methods. You don't need boring textbooks or endless grammar drills. You need a smarter way, a personal guide who's available 24/7 and adapts to you. That's where ChatGPT comes in. Imagine having a language partner who never gets tired, never judges your mistakes, and always explains things in a way you understand. Someone who can help you practice speaking, correct your writing, teach you vocabulary and context, and quiz you until the words stick. And the best part? You can do all of this anywhere. On your phone, at your desk, or even while having coffee. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn ChatGPT into your personal English tutor step by step. Whether you're starting from zero or trying to sound like a native speaker, these strategies will help you train your mind, master the language, and finally speak with confidence. So don't just watch passively. Follow along, take notes, and start your journey today. Because your future self will thank you for the work you put in now. Step 1. Set clear goals with ChatGPT. If you want to master English with ChatGPT, the very first thing you must do is set crystal clear goals. Think of it like traveling. If you don't know the exact destination, how will you ever get there? Too many learners fall into the trap of saying, "I just want to get better at English." While that sounds fine, it's far too vague. The brain thrives on precision. It needs a target to lock onto, something specific it can work toward every single day. So ask yourself, what exactly do I want? Do you want to speak fluently so you can feel confident in any conversation? Do you want to sharpen your writing so your professional emails sound polished and error-free? Are you aiming to score high on IELTS, TOEFL, or another language exam? Maybe your goal is to understand native speakers in movies without subtitles. Whatever it is, make it specific and measurable. The sharper the goal, the faster your mind can align itself to achieve it. Once your goal is clear, share it with ChatGPT in detail. Don't just type, "Help me learn English." That's like asking for directions without telling someone where you're going. Instead, say something like, "I want to improve my conversational English for job interviews. I have 20 minutes a day to practice. Please create a 30-day plan with speaking prompts, vocabulary lists, and role-play exercises." This turns ChatGPT into your personal coach, designing customized lessons, keeping track of your progress, and adjusting the difficulty as you improve. Why is this so important? Because clear goals don't just guide your learning. They fuel your motivation. They give you a reason to keep going on days when you feel tired or distracted. Each small achievement, learning 10 new words, speaking for 5 minutes without hesitation, scoring higher on a practice test, becomes proof that you're moving forward. And that progress builds momentum. Remember this: big results are the product of small, consistent steps. You don't have to make giant leaps every day. Just focus on moving forward even a little. Over time, those small daily actions will add up to huge transformations. By defining your destination and using ChatGPT as your roadmap, you're not just hoping to learn English. You're actively creating a clear, powerful path to success. Step 2. Practice speaking every day with ChatGPT. If you truly want to train your brain to think and respond in English, speaking daily is non-negotiable. Too many learners make the mistake of thinking they need to wait until their grammar is perfect before opening their mouth. But here's the truth. Waiting kills momentum. You don't learn to speak fluently by studying in silence. You learn by speaking even when you make mistakes, especially when you make mistakes. Think about it. When children learn their first language, they don't start with textbooks or perfect grammar rules. They babble, they try, they fail, they repeat. It's messy, but it works. That's exactly the process you need to embrace with ChatGPT. The beauty of using ChatGPT for speaking practice is that it's patient, non-judgmental, and always ready to respond. No awkward silences, no embarrassment, no fear of being corrected harshly. You can speak freely, knowing that every attempt is making your brain faster, sharper, and more confident in English. Make speaking a daily ritual. Open ChatGPT and say, "Let's role play. You be a hotel receptionist, and I'm checking in after a long flight." Or, "Pretend we're at a coffee shop and you're asking about my day." You can simulate any scenario. Job interviews, business meetings, casual small talk, travel conversations. So when the real-life situation comes, you've already practiced it dozens of times. And here's where the magic happens. When you speak daily, your brain starts to think in English. At first, you'll mentally translate from your native language, but over time, you'll skip that step entirely. Your thoughts will form directly in English, which is the key to fluency. You'll find yourself reacting faster, choosing better words, and expressing yourself more naturally. Yes, there will be moments when you get stuck or forget a word. That's normal. Instead of freezing, ask ChatGPT, "How do I say this in simpler words?" Or, "What's another way to express this idea?" Each time you do, you're expanding your vocabulary and building the mental pathways that make speaking easier. The point is simple. Fluency is a muscle. If you don't use it daily, it weakens. But if you work it out, day after day, conversation after conversation, it grows stronger without you even noticing. A month from now, you'll speak with more confidence. 6 months from now, you'll wonder why you ever doubted yourself. And it all starts with one simple decision: to speak every single day, no matter what. Step 3. Learn and apply new vocabulary with ChatGPT. Learning new words is one thing. Owning them, making them a natural part of your speaking and writing, is something entirely different. Too many English learners collect vocabulary like items in a drawer, neat lists in notebooks, long spreadsheets of definitions, pages of words they hope to use someday. But here's the problem. If you don't actually use those words, they fade from your memory. The key is not just to learn vocabulary, it's to apply it over and over until it becomes yours. This is where ChatGPT becomes your personal language gym. Instead of memorizing words in isolation, ask ChatGPT to give you those words in full, rich contexts. Let's say you just learned the word overwhelming. Don't just read the definition. Have ChatGPT create a dialogue where someone talks about an overwhelming challenge at work or an overwhelmingly beautiful view from a mountain. When your brain sees the word in action, tied to emotions and situations, It sticks. And don't stop there. Turn passive learning into active creation. Ask ChatGPT. Give me 5 sentences using the word overwhelming, then make me rewrite them in my own style. Or, give me a short story where I must use the words overwhelming, grateful, and determined. By producing your own sentences, you are training your brain to retrieve the word naturally, without hesitation. Another powerful technique? Role play with new vocabulary. If you've learned business-related words, tell ChatGPT. Pretend I'm pitching a project to my boss. Make sure I use the words proposal, negotiate, and strategy. This forces you to use the new words under real-world pressure, which is exactly how you'll need them in real life. The beauty of ChatGPT is that it adapts instantly to you. If a word feels too formal, ask for casual alternatives. If it feels too casual, ask for more sophisticated versions. Over time, you'll not only expand your vocabulary, you'll also develop a sense of when and how to use each word for maximum impact. Fluency isn't about knowing thousands of words. It's about having the right words at your fingertips when you need them. Every time you learn and apply new vocabulary with ChatGPT, you're sharpening that skill. You're building a toolkit that will let you speak with precision, write with clarity, and express your thoughts exactly the way you imagined them. And the best part? With consistent practice, you'll stop searching for words in your head. They'll just flow. Step 4. Correct grammar mistakes with ChatGPT. Grammar can feel like the invisible enemy in language learning. You might speak fluently, but small errors can chip away at your confidence. The truth is, grammar isn't about impressing people with perfect rules. It's about making your message clear and powerful. Every misplaced tense, wrong article, or awkward sentence structure can create misunderstandings. That's why correcting your grammar is not about perfectionism. It's about precision. With ChatGPT, you have a 24/7 grammar coach who never judges and never gets tired. You can type out anything, an email, a text, a diary entry, and simply say, "Check my grammar and explain the changes." In seconds, you'll not only see the corrections, but also receive plain, simple explanations. And this is where the real magic happens. Those explanations turn mistakes into lessons you actually remember. One of the most effective ways to use ChatGPT for grammar is to turn corrections into practice drills. If it fixes your sentence, "He go to work yesterday," into "He went to work yesterday," ask ChatGPT, "Give me 10 more sentences to practice past tense verbs." By repeating correct patterns, you're training your brain to default to them naturally. You can also make grammar practice more engaging by turning it into role play or challenges. For example, tell ChatGPT, "I will write as if I'm speaking casually, but you have to rewrite it in perfect formal grammar." Or, "Give me a paragraph with 10 grammar mistakes hidden inside, and I will try to fix them." This transforms grammar from a dry, boring subject into an interactive game. Over time, this process builds a habit. You stop thinking of grammar as a separate rule book in your head and start feeling it intuitively. You'll notice yourself catching mistakes as you speak, adjusting mid-sentence without hesitation. That's when you know your brain has made the shift. From studying grammar to living it. The more you use ChatGPT for grammar correction, the more you'll notice your sentences sounding cleaner, sharper, and more natural. And that's the ultimate goal. Not to obsess over rules, but to speak and write with such clarity that your ideas shine through without distraction. Step 5. Improve listening skills with ChatGPT. Strong listening skills are the secret engine of language mastery. Speaking gets all the attention, but listening is what fuels everything. If you can't truly understand what's being said, especially when it's fast, full of slang, or spoken in different accents, you'll always feel one step behind. The good news? ChatGPT can become a personal listening lab that you control. Start by choosing any English text, an article, a story, even your own writing, and ask ChatGPT to transform it into natural-sounding audio. Listen to it once just to get the overall meaning, then again to focus on the details. The third time, try shadowing, speaking at the same time as the audio to copy the rhythm, stress, and intonation. This triple-layer listening method doesn't just help you hear words, it makes them stick in your memory. Another powerful method is to use ChatGPT to simulate real-life listening challenges. For example, pretend you are a fast-talking American radio host and explain this topic to me. Or, speak as if you're a British shopkeeper helping a customer. By requesting specific accents, tones, and speeds, you expose yourself to the variety of English you'll meet in the real world. You can also turn listening into an active learning cycle. After hearing a piece of audio, type out what you remember word for word, then ask ChatGPT to show you the original script. This reveals exactly which words you missed and trains your ear to catch them next time. Over time, those small missed words, like prepositions, articles, and linking sounds, will become automatic. Consistency is key. Even 5 to 10 minutes of focused listening every day will reshape your comprehension skills. Soon you'll find that English movies, podcasts, and conversations no longer feel like a blur of sound. They'll start to feel slow, clear, and easy to follow. And that's when you'll realize you're no longer just hearing English. You're understanding it, naturally and effortlessly. Step 6. Enhance writing skills with ChatGPT. Writing in English is more than just putting words on a page. It's a test of how clearly you can think, organize ideas, and connect with your reader. The problem is, most learners only write when they have to, and they rarely get detailed feedback. That's why so many people plateau. But with ChatGPT, you can turn writing practice into a daily personalized workshop, one where every sentence you produce is polished, strengthened, and elevated. Start with short exercises. Ask ChatGPT to give you a simple writing prompt, such as, describe your dream home, or write a short letter to your future self. Write your piece naturally, without worrying too much about grammar or style at first. Then paste it into ChatGPT and say, please correct my grammar, improve my sentence structure, and explain why you made each change. This is powerful because you're not just fixing mistakes. You're understanding the why behind them, which ensures you won't make the same errors again. When you feel ready, level up. Challenge yourself with essays, stories, or opinion pieces. You can say, act as a professional editor. Rewrite my text to sound more persuasive, more emotional, or more concise, and tell me what you changed. This lets you see how different tones work, so you can develop your own unique writing voice. One of the best habits is parallel writing. You write your own version of something, Then ask ChatGPT to write on the same topic. Comparing your piece with ChatGPT's version reveals new vocabulary, stronger sentence patterns, and ways to make your writing flow better. Over time, you'll notice that you're borrowing some of these techniques naturally. And remember, writing isn't just about accuracy, it's about expression. Use ChatGPT to explore creative forms, poems, speeches, even social media posts. Ask for feedback not only on correctness, but on impact. Does my opening grab attention? Does my ending feel strong? Does my argument make sense? These subtle improvements will make your writing stand out in any context, whether it's academic, professional, or personal. Daily practice is where the transformation happens. 10 minutes of intentional writing with ChatGPT's guidance can sharpen your skills faster than hours of passive learning. Soon, you'll find yourself writing in English without hesitation, confident that your words carry the clarity, precision, and emotion you intend. And that's when you'll realize you're not just learning English anymore. You're mastering the art of communication. Step 7. Test yourself with ChatGPT. Many learners convince themselves they're improving simply because they're exposed to English, reading articles, watching videos, or completing exercises. But exposure alone doesn't guarantee mastery. True progress comes when you take what you've learned and put it through a stress test. When you deliberately create moments where you have to think, respond, and adapt in real time. That's why testing yourself isn't just a step in the process. It's the engine that turns passive knowledge into active skill. And with ChatGPT, you can create those high-pressure moments whenever you want, in a completely safe environment. Think of ChatGPT as your personal sparring partner. It never gets tired, it never loses patience, and it can instantly adapt the challenge to your level. Start small. Ask it for quick, targeted drills. You might say, "Give me 15 irregular verbs and test me on their past tense forms." Or, "Create a 10-question quiz on common phrasal verbs." Once you finish, don't just glance at your score. Go deeper. Have ChatGPT explain each mistake, suggest examples, and help you create mental hooks so you won't forget the correct usage again. Every wrong answer becomes a tool for strengthening your memory. From there, raise the stakes with real-life simulations. Learning English for travel? Tell ChatGPT, "Be an airport immigration officer. Ask me questions about my trip, my luggage, and my stay." Studying English for business? Try. Pretend you're my client and we're negotiating a contract. Each scenario forces you to think on your feet, choose your words carefully, and navigate the unpredictable flow of a real conversation. This is where you start building fluency under pressure, the kind that sticks with you when you're speaking to actual people. But don't stop at conversation. Test your comprehension too. Ask ChatGPT to give you a short story, news article, or dialogue, then quiz you on the details. You could say, "Give me a 300-word news article about technology, then ask me 8 comprehension questions." This kind of training strengthens your listening and reading skills, teaching you how to pick out key information even when you don't understand every single word. Over time, your brain learns to grasp meaning from context, a critical skill for true fluency. Another powerful approach is to mix difficulty levels. Start with easy questions to warm up, Then gradually increase the complexity until you're working with challenging vocabulary and nuanced grammar structures. You'll feel your mental muscles straining at first, but that's exactly how you grow. If something feels too hard, have ChatGPT break it down, explain it in simple terms, and then retest you until you nail it. The magic of testing with ChatGPT is that it's high pressure without the high stakes. There's no embarrassment, no awkward silences, no judgment, just a space where you can make as many mistakes as you need. You can retake the same test 3 times in a row, or you can push yourself with entirely new challenges every day. This kind of flexible, repeatable testing is what transforms learners into confident speakers. Remember, testing yourself is not about proving perfection. It's about tracking your improvement, seeing your weak spots, and sharpening your skills until they're ready for the real world. With ChatGPT as your daily challenger, every test you take becomes a training session for the life you want to live. A life where you can think, speak, and succeed in English without hesitation. Step 8. Track progress and adjust with ChatGPT. Far too many learners rush through the process of studying English without ever stopping to measure where they stand. They read more words, watch more videos, memorize more grammar rules, but never pause to ask themselves, am I actually improving? That's like climbing a mountain blindfolded. You might be exerting all your energy, but you don't know if you're moving upward, sideways, or even backwards. Progress tracking is not an accessory to learning. It is the compass that ensures every step you take brings you closer to the peak. Without it, you are lost in the fog of endless repetition. With it, you walk with intention, direction, and confidence. This is where ChatGPT becomes an extraordinary ally. Unlike static textbooks or one-size-fits-all apps, it can reflect your own progress back to you in real time. After a few days or weeks of practice, you can say, "Analyze my mistakes in our last 3 conversations," or "Show me the areas I still struggle with." And instantly, it gives you a map of your weak spots and strengths. That map is invaluable. Maybe you'll notice that while you're good at forming sentences, you stumble when asked to express complex emotions. Maybe your vocabulary is strong for casual talks but too limited for academic discussions. This awareness is the foundation of mastery, because what gets measured can be improved. But measurement is only half the equation. The true power lies in adjustment. Imagine you discover through ChatGPT's analysis that you repeatedly misuse verb tenses. You now have 2 choices: ignore it and keep making the same mistakes, or deliberately focus your next week's learning around tenses. You could ask ChatGPT to create custom drills, role-play scenarios where tense use is critical, or even generate quizzes that test you until the correct form becomes second nature. Every time you shift your learning focus in response to your tracked progress, you sharpen your skills like a blade being honed. That's how real transformation happens, not by doing more, but by doing smarter. Tracking also allows you to see your growth in ways that fuel your motivation. At the beginning, maybe you could barely introduce yourself without hesitating. A month later, ChatGPT can simulate a casual cafe conversation that lasts 10 minutes. 6 months later, you could role-play a business negotiation or an academic debate. This progression is not just about English. It's about confidence. You can feel the difference in your voice, in your fluency, in the way your ideas flow without fear. That feeling is a reward more powerful than any certificate or grade. It's the living proof that you are becoming someone new. And here's something learners often overlook. By saving your old conversations with ChatGPT, you create a record of your journey. When doubt creeps in, as it always does, you can go back and read your first dialogues. You'll notice the broken grammar, the limited vocabulary, the hesitation in every answer. Then you'll look at your current conversations and realize, I've grown. I'm not who I was when I started. That evidence destroys self-doubt and replaces it with pride. On days when motivation feels low, this record becomes your fuel. But the real beauty of progress tracking is that it doesn't just prevent stagnation. It transforms the learning journey into a living experiment. You're no longer passively consuming English. You're actively designing your own growth. You try a strategy, test it with ChatGPT, reflect on the results, and adjust. Slowly, you stop being a student who simply learns, and you become a learner who engineers success. This shift in identity is massive. It's the difference between wandering aimlessly and walking with destiny. So remember this. ChatGPT is not only your practice partner, it is your progress coach. Use it to measure, to reflect, to realign. Let it point out blind spots you can't see yourself. Let it remind you how far you've already come. Let it guide you to refine every step. Because success in learning English, or in any skill, is not about moving the fastest. It's about moving with clarity, direction, and adaptability. And once you commit to tracking and adjusting daily, success is no longer a distant dream. It becomes the natural outcome of a process you control. Learning English with ChatGPT is not about being perfect. It's about showing up every day. Small, consistent steps create big results over time. Each word you practice, each mistake you correct, and each sentence you build brings you closer to fluency and to new opportunities waiting for you. This journey is not just about learning a language. It's about building discipline, confidence, and resilience. If you stay patient, keep practicing, and never give up, one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. The future version of you is already waiting. Start building it today. If this video inspired you or gave you clarity, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who's also on their journey to learn English. The more we grow together, the easier it becomes to stay consistent and motivated. Let's keep pushing forward. One step, one lesson, and one word at a time.